What's up, guys? This is SanchoWest, and here is my Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta impression / review. Man, it has been 2 days since the servers went down, and I was there at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, and this is what my reaction was when the servers went down. It has been hard times indeed. 2 days of just sitting there thinking about Uncharted 4 multiplayer, and I had the privilege of being at Naughty Dog. You're gonna see those, the 3 hours or so that I spent there, all the interviews that I did with the programmers, the concept artists, the media people, all the way from Arnie Meyer down to Robert Ryan. All of those Naughty Dog developers interviews will be posted on my channel in bits and pieces for you to enjoy. But let's get down to nitty-gritty. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about Uncharted 4's multiplayer beta. I love the beta. It was a great experience, and I still yearn to play it. I put in 80 hours plus into the beta of the first stream. I had 11 hours straight of continuous play of the beta. It was only 2 maps. I didn't care. I love what I saw. The gunplay is fantastic, but my favorite thing about the beta is the fluidity of the movement. I love Uncharted multiplayer. The reason why I love Uncharted multiplayer beyond any other multiplayer experience is the creativity that I have to do some kind of creative takedown, to do a swinging, and then when you add the rope on top of that, that's kind of crazy and wild. All the different things that I've been doing is just ridiculous. Swinging from there, here to there, dropping people with the pistol, meleeing people with the rope melee. Everything has got me hype about this, because just based on those 2 fundamental foundations of the Uncharted multiplayer is that it's solid, okay? Smooth. And the most important thing in all video games, when it boils down to anything, it's not graphics, it's not anything like that, is gameplay, okay? If the gameplay is solid, then everything else is fine. And Uncharted 4's multiplayer has solid gameplay. I cannot stress this enough, guys, that when it gets down to movement, it got that locked down, it got the movement back down, and now it has gunplay. Gunplay is unbelievable. I had the problem of figuring out what gun's my favorite. I just love playing with all the guns. Yes, even though some of the things you have to adjust your playstyles, but I enjoyed the gameplay of it all. The gunplay is solid, the mechanics is solid, the team play layer that they added is solid. I have to stress this enough. I cannot stress this. This is not like The Last of Us. It does have Last of Us tendencies in it. It does have Last of Us attributes, but it's no way like Last of Us, okay? Ammo is not scarce. You don't have to craft. The time to get in, you don't have to worry about going into your backpack to get the in-game store. Everything is fluid. Everything moves fast. And what the best parts of the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta is highlighted is when everything is just fluid. When you're just in it. You're just shooting somebody. You're hitting someone that's roping on you. You're picking up somebody. You're throwing a nade. You're throwing your mystical. You pick up your psychic. And that's all happening at once. I've stressed this so many times throughout my Uncharted 4 multiplayer streams that there are times when it feels like I am doing so much, and I honestly just go, man, I am fatigued. And I look at the timer on the clock and I'm like, wow, only half of the match has went by, and I felt like I've done so much. So there's lots of things that I have to do. Now, I'm not saying it's the most perfect thing of all time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from what I've seen so far, it is a fantastic multiplayer experience that I cannot wait to get the full thing about it. Again, so I love the movement. I love the gameplay, the gunplay, so to speak, and I love all that aspect. And then on top of that, as I was speaking with, the teamwork layer that's been added. When you're playing this game with the team, it's a whole different experience, okay? You have this whole notion of like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pop this mystical right here. I'll need you to go ahead and pop yours. I'm going to go ahead and spawn a brute. I need you to spawn your sniper. Oh my God, there's a brute over there. We need to go ahead and team shot the hell out of it to get him out. And that is amazing, and that gets me excited, because the Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, that experience it can be fleeting sometimes, and I really believe that nostalgia really prevents people from remembering the shortcomings of the other multiplayers from Uncharted. I always firmly believe that this is an evolution of Naughty Dog's multiplayer experience from Uncharted 2, now featuring The Last of Us, and this. So that's why I'm always just saying, like, This brings the diversity of a multi. Just imagine this delicious looking cake, okay? This cake filled with so many layers. You got that solid foundation of gunplay, of movement, and then you bring in the team tactical play, and then you go ahead and put in sidekicks and mysticals and all those kinds of things. Just make a delicious experience. And that I cannot stress to you guys that I cannot wait to show for you guys the experience I have with this beta. I've recorded at least 80 hours plus of footage that I'm gonna go through and make sure that I find poignant matches and make sure I find cool highlights and montages. That way we're gonna get carried all the way until when this game launches in March 18th. Circle that thing. I'm gonna take a whole week off from work. But I just wanted to say, so those things are great. And there's a couple of favorite things that I'm going to go to, and apologize if I'm ranting, but I'm just really hyped about this, is that there was a lot of naysayers out there. A lot of people in the forums, a lot of people in the Twitterverse were just like, I don't know, man. Beta, the sidekicks, the mysticals, they look like they're going to be overpowered. And I kept telling people, relax, it's going to be balanced, it's going to be balanced. Things are going to happen. Naughty Dog knows what they're doing. The reason why I trust Naughty Dog, because I actually know the people that are making this game. I met these people. I've had solid conversations with these people, and I know that they're going to do this game right. And then when this game came out, when the beta came out, everybody was turned around. Those feelings were like, oh, this uneasiness was instantly turned around on a dime. And people were like, okay, I get it, I got it. And not to say that there's no naysayers out there. There's a lot of work that this beta has to do. But again, I'm liking the vision. So all these naysayers at first were like, okay, I get it. You know, the mysticals are not overpowered, the sidekicks are not overpowered. And they started to come around with it. I think a lot of people have this notion of what's going on with the Uncharted 4 beta is that they're not allowing themselves to educate themselves in terms of how to overcome the things that they think is unbalanced. Yes, there's things that are imbalanced, and I will get to that later, but if you just simply educate yourself and working with a team to overcome that, that would be, you could do it. There's counters to everything in the game. There's counters to sidekicks, there's counters to mysticals. You can one hit, you can insta kill a brute. All those kinds of things happen if you just give it a chance. Give it a chance, and don't let, if you're letting the Uncharted 2 memories, because I've been there, guys, okay? I want to stress to you, I have a love for Uncharted 2, and I loved it to death, and I remember the endless nights of playing it with my boys, playing it with my friends, just being up all night playing with that, and I have those fond memories, but of course, I don't remember the negative side of Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and so here's the things that I believe, and I apologize if this is all over the place, but here's the things that I believe that were Uncharted 4 multiplayer could be a little bit better. I honestly believe that they need to have some sort of a matchmaking system that allows you to rematch the people that you just played. I already told them this, so when you play somebody, I always hated in Last of Us, you're like, man, I just got beat by this person, I want to play them again. And then the servers troll you and they break up the party, or they send you somewhere else, or you end up on their own team. So if they had an option to instantly rematch them, to hit a button to vote for that, and I really enjoyed that system. I really feel like the turn speed, the camera speed, needs to be faster. The sensitivity itself, I felt like it was lacking in a sense that I felt like I was a lot slower. I wanted to be faster because the gameplay itself, the people moving so fast, you can't keep track with them. So if you could turn up the sensitivity overall, would be a world of difference. I just feel like the majority of the community just needs to be educated on the new things that Uncharted 4 multiplayer is bringing. So if Naughty Dog will do a huge service to the fan base and to teach everybody how to counter things like that. I know you want the community to figure this out, but there's lots of things that need to be taught to implement this, especially the people coming into Uncharted new with this new reviving mechanic, which I always say that if you don't like reviving, you're gonna love it when someone picks you up. That's all I have to say. And it's so much faster than The Last of Us. And the fact that you could actually move with people reviving, and you could walk them, and you could crawl with them, is an amazing experience. That in itself is it blew my mind coming from a Last of Us veteran. So in regards to that, so increase in the sensitivity, and I really enjoyed the stealth in terms of the charge up melee. I understand how there's some things that they're wonky in terms of melee, and I feel like one of the biggest things that Naughty Dog wanted to focus on is the latency, and I feel like this beta is slowly figuring that out, the matchmaking latency in this PvP world. And so that my whole experience with the beta, latency was very minimal until the end, until they started opening it up. So I just want you guys to take a look at that, because I was noticing a lot more, I was matching up with a lot of people that were laggy. But beyond that, the experience was great, and I would have to give my biggest kudos is that the biggest thing that I have to leave, and I hope you guys leave for this video, the message that I want to give is that the biggest thing that Naughty Dog did was being active. Being active in the community was so refreshing, in a sense that they were streaming, okay, and I was thankful to be a part of one. They're streaming their multiplayer. They're actually playing their game, which is awesome to see a lot of the developers, even the ones that are not involved making this game, out there for Naughty Dog. That little paw patch shows that you believe in this multiplayer, and shows that you're willing to be with the community, and shows that you're willing to answer those questions while you're out and about, not being watched by anybody. You're personally inviting us to game with you, which is amazing. Seeing Naughty Dog people stream is amazing. Seeing Naughty Dog people in streams is amazing. That's the biggest thing that I'm excited about. More than the game itself is that Naughty Dog itself believes in this game, and Naughty Dog is interacting with us. Okay, that's huge. Naughty Dog is listening. They've already made some changes to the game itself, and that's an astonishing that when I was there at Naughty Dog, they made over 8 patches in the short amount of time to make sure that this game is what we want. And the more constructive feedback that we give, the better experience that we have. And that's what would be the champion of this beta more than anything. I'm gonna go ahead and pop myself big. That will be the champion of this beta, was Naughty Dog's involvement and Naughty Dog's listening. And I only think that we just need to give them time to make it little perfections. And a lot of you guys were wondering, what would I change? Well, again, like I said, the sensitivity, but again, the gen needs to be looked at, and I'm not saying it's overpowered. You can kill a person using the gen if you just figure it out and you study with it, especially if you team shot it. But there's some things that I really want Naughty Dog to consider. You need to start punishing players for not paying attention. What I meant is, like, there needs to be a risk. Okay, you already have a reward system, but there needs to be a risk and reward system. There needs to be a risk for going all the way for Endurance Eternity and then wasting it. There needs to be, there's that risk of misthrowing your dagger. There's the risk in the Chintamani Stone of missing. There's that risk of the staff of Arimanko, you throwing it down in a crowded area and you lose it instantly. The only one that doesn't have a risk is the Spirit of the Jinn. You need to give that a risk. You need to give that a consequence for losing it. So that's why I firmly believe, even though the 20-second timer seemed to help out balance it a bit, that you need to lose it as soon as you die. That's it. That's the risk you take. It's not because you can make it expensive and doing all those kinds of things, but bottom line, you need to have a risk factor so you can help the community get better. Don't give the community crutches. That's what I really loved about it as well, is that there's no one-hit kills, there's no instant kills, there's no hammer out there, there's no T-bolt sniper out there that rewards body shots. All those kinds of things are absent. You didn't put in a purchasable shotgun like in The Last of Us that takes one shot and boom, you're done. You don't have that. There's skill, and the community, and I'm gonna go big on this, the community will meet you halfway if you don't give them crutches. Okay, there's gonna be people that are, yes, they're gonna be good because they're gonna be play this competitively, and I will stress this because Trooper Rick said this himself, and I believe in that. Trooper Rick, if you don't know, is a Destiny streamer, and he's an old school Uncharted guy. He said there's gonna be a skill level that's gonna be really high that you want people to attain. You want, the lack of a better term, the 2015 word of the year is casual, that you want casual players to strive for. You want that. You don't want people to be all this even playing field to the point where a skill player would just dominate. You just still want it where that player who's just casual will say, man, I want to be like those guys. I want to be on those highlights. I want to be like that. So you don't have to give them a crutch. And I'm just saying, giving them the gin after they lose it, after they die, is definitely a crutch. And that's it. That's the only thing I have to say about that. You can mess with the blinks and things like that, but it's strange for a power up for you to keep it. And I would say this again in my comparison, is that in Call of Duty Black Ops, you get the Sparrow, you spend almost like half the game getting it, the little arrow in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, you could die instantly, okay? And does that suck? Yes, but you learn when to pop it and you learn when to get better with it. So that's the thing that I have to say about that whole gen thing. And the Metler itself, I feel like it's just a popular gun. Who knows what they'll do to nerf it? But overall, just happy. I'm hyped, okay? As they say in Kind of Funny, I'm juiced about this, all right? And I hope you guys are too. And a quick note, I am going to go through all the footage and I'm going to bring that to you guys. I'm hoping you enjoyed this impressions. I'm overall excited about this. I just really hope you guys give this a chance and give constructive feedback. I've given my feedback to them in the forums. And I'm excited to meet new faces. I'm excited to see you guys out there, and I'm so happy that I was so thankful for that my video made Uncharted TV, the Nate Cracker. That was a fun experience. So again, I'm just giving you my impressions on that. I don't know what's gonna happen for the full release. I can't wait to see the different modes, because they constantly said that we're just getting a sliver of it. They said there's going to be more skins, and they said there's going to be skins for the sidekicks as well. If you want to learn more information, you should check out my little series that I did at Uncharted during their Twitch stream at Naughty Dog for the Twitch stream for Uncharted 4 multiplayer. Hopefully I'm allowed back with them to do more streams, because it's an experience you should never take granted for. But that's my video. And I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning in. And if you want to see more Uncharted news, go ahead and subscribe. I do a lot of Last of Us things, Star Wars Battlefront. I'm mainly a PlayStation multiplayer guy. I love multiplayer experience. I feel like it's the best experience to give, because there's going to be moments you can never replicate. You can never replicate multiplayer moments, and I'm happy to capture that for you. If you want to watch my first Uncharted video right here, and of course here's my Uncharted playlist. And again, guys, there's going to be a lot more of kind of like program. I'm really excited. A lot of different like loadouts for you to check out in terms of during the beta. There's going to be montages of awesome moments, and I'm just excited. That's my rant, my impressions on it. Thumbs up all the way. If you missed out on it, it's going to be awesome. Fingers crossed for another beta. Please. But thank you guys for tuning in. Have a nice day, and as always, ooh yeah, peace, adios guys, bye.
Side.